Mike. Hold on, I just want to update this real fast. If I can find it. Oh no. I'm going to find it. Hold on, I gotta find the TikToks. Where they are, I don't know. Oh, why is this so difficult? Why? Okay, well, I can't find it, so we'll run with this. Hello, everybody. Mike, are you at work today? Hi, Ken. What are you up to? Anything exciting? Hey, Mike, random question. Do you have a smoker? You know what's funny you say that? On my walk this morning, I saw so many clematises today that it made me think of you. There were pink ones, and there were purple ones, and there were some white ones, and everyone had them in front of their mailbox. Ooh, that sounds like math, Mike. That's not my jam at all. I am not a math guru by any means necessary. Hi, Hunter. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Don't forget, everybody, craft nights tonight, BT dubs. If you want to come do your wards and sigils. I am going to just out myself right now. Only one of my eyes is done. My other eyeball, not done yet. So, only one eyeball so far. So, I didn't meet my goal. Bummer. I am good. I cannot complain. It's been a very strange couple days. It's like every time I have a plan for something, the universe is like, just kidding. And then Dinky and I actually just sat outside for a while and talked about like past relationships and like, you know, how the way, you know how some relationships like really teach you stuff about yourself. And we were talking about like, you know, romantic gestures and stuff that have happened in the past and things. You don't think about it often. I think ever since that talisman came out this morning, I've been a little confused. Why is love coming up today? Bree, how are you? All right, let's see. What do I got? Oh, Bree, this is the hedgehog. Be a magnet for light, love, and joy with Archangel Gabriel. So let's see. I forgot the alphabet again. You guys missed a good movie last night, just saying. This card is a reminder to laugh at your troubles and take them lightly. Invoke Archangel Gabriel and center yourself in his pure white light so that you absorb the keys and codes of the ascension qualities he carries. Then open yourself to the angels of Orion who come to you when you connect with hedgehogs. Their sonics, even though you may not be able to hear them, will enable you to rise above your past and create a happy, joyous, and love-filled future. Remember that you too can profoundly affect those around you. When you fill your aura with white light, it touches others and enables them to laugh and see higher possibilities. Excuse me. You all become harmless. You are invited to take yourself and your loved ones into a relaxed, peaceful world full of fun and laughter. Cool. Brie, that was fabulous. Thank you. It's very pollen-esque outside. Can confirm. Thanks for letting me pull it for you, Brie. All right, Ken, let's do your... Do you want an animal or a talisman, Ken? Hunter, Mike, do you guys want cards for the day? Don't forget, free class tonight, and then I'm going to do the energy class here on TikTok on Thursday. Now I'm going to keep sneezing. All right, let's see. Hello, Dinky. All right, let's see. Ken, which one would you like? This is the Daily Collective. This is the horse card. Care for others and let them be free. Hey, Miss Cheese Grater, do you want your oracle card? This card calls you to expand your heart center and focus on your noble qualities and aspirations. You're reminded that in order to honor others and let them be free, you must first respect yourself and set yourself free. So tune in to the great universal angel Mary and let her wonderful healing divine feminine light bathe you and dissolve the old. Then take decisions that chime with you and light you up. Visualize the full moon or look at it if you can and be aware of Archangel Christiel's shimmering milky white light extending to your third eye and a magnificent pure white unicorn walking along the light to touch you. This will start to activate your own personal great soul qualities and watch a higher path unfold. Mueller, thanks for the follow. Ken, that was a good one, I must say. All right, let's see. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Tuesday. The internet should be on its track. There's also a new part coming for it, so it should be okay. I'm crossing my fingers and toes. All right, let's see, Dink, what do we got? Dinky, this is the dolphin. Live joyfully in the present with Archangel Jules. Let's see. The wisdom of the dolphin card reminds you that you are a special, highly evolved being. Throughout your long soul journey, you may not have been faultless. No one has, but that is the past. You are now a light bearer, carrying sacred geometric keys and codes from this and other universes. Dance and play and do what makes your heart happy. Your task is to lighten up and be joyful and gracious as you spread your wisdom. Bring through the gold ray and you will automatically heal others. Also know that no one is perfect, so keep your heart open with understanding and forgiveness. Ooh, did you get him? Nope, because he's over here. Here, why don't you... Oh my god. Oh my fuck. Okay, everybody pause for 1 second. How in the freak? Sorry, I just found a fly squad next to the window. One second. I've learned my lesson. I swear I'll never open a window ever again. Ever. I'll never do it. I will not. See ya. Alright. Sorry, I knew I had to get them right now or we were going to have a problem. Because there's like, oh my god. Hold on. Ew. Okay. Okay, sorry. Brief interruption. I had to get all of those. Those were ridiculous. Sorry. I left my window open for a couple days. Worst decision I've ever made in my entire life. Oh my god. Horrible. Hi, Miss Kendra. Long time no see. Hi, Arlie. How are you? I hope everyone is having a beautiful Tuesday. Hi, Monica. Oh. Disturbia up in here, man. That was crazy. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. We're hanging out. I do have 3 reading spots if you're someone who wants a reading, whether you want to do past life spirit guides or energy stuff. There's 4 spots left for the mediumship class this month. And tonight is a free class about wards and sigils during craft night. And then Thursday, I'm going to be doing an Energy 101 class here on TikTok. Dun, dun, dun. All right, who wants an oracle card? I would be happy to pull one for you, or if you have questions about your own connections, your own spirit guides, stuff like that, things you're doing, I would be happy to chat about it. Sorry, my nose is running. So strange. All right, let's see. Kendra, this is the giraffe. Aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom with Archangel Jophiel. So far it has, there's also a new part coming for the internet, so it should not be a problem anymore, because it is frustrating when it does not work the way it is supposed to. When you receive this card of higher wisdom, it suggests that you look beyond the limitations of your current circumstances and situations. Continue to fulfill your daily commitments and responsibilities diligently while you explore your life from a higher perspective. You may then see things very differently. Internal change inevitably follows, and this is automatically reflected in your world. You're also asked to tune into your home planet in sleeper meditation and to connect to a ray of truth so that you can understand the true wisdom of your soul. Giraffe wisdom reminds you to act graciously with dignity, serenity, and balance at all times, and this will enable you to fulfill your dreams and your destiny. Monica, I love your costume. I can't wait to see the completed day of version. Of course you can. Kendra, thanks for letting me pull it for you. All right, let's see. Arlie, what do we got? Arlie, this is the guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe with Archangel Mary. Who told you about the eyeballs? These ones? All right, let's see. This is the card of love. Just reading it starts to connect you energetically to the guinea pigs and through them to the cosmic heart. Be open to receiving a download of agape. Remember that when love flows from your heart, it ignites the hearts of all around you. Then, for a brief and glorious moment, you activate and light up the stellar links throughout creation with bright pink love. In this way, you do your part to illuminate the universe. In response, the cosmos floods you with love and all manners of abundance. Just relax and trust, knowing that love is coming to you. Who told you about my eyeballs? Who told you? Do you have the insider scoop? Arlie, that was good. Thank you for letting me pull it for you. I love the animal cards. I've been debating on a new deck. Stay tuned. There's one I've been eyeballing. I just haven't made the decision of whether I actually need it or not, but I think we all know how that will turn out. Right? It's such a great deck. It's the Archangel Animal deck. I'm a big fan. All right, Monica, let's see. That's crazy. Monica, this is also the guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe with Archangel Mary. I'm going to read you the other portion of this. I see a theme of love today, peeps. These gentle little creatures are the only animals to incarnate from Venus, the planet of love. They have undertaken a huge mission on Earth to open and heal hearts, and they can do so because they are small and vulnerable, so people accept them. When you hold or think about a guinea pig, it automatically connects you directly to the cosmic heart, so you receive a download of pure, unconditional love. This especially heals those who have hurt or abused hearts. This is so important at this time as we are preparing for the new golden age. The energy of the guinea pig activates your connection through Venus to all the stars in the cosmos. Then the links are illuminated with beautiful pink love. Through these animals, you can help bring this wonderful universe together with love. Guinea pigs are unique and highly evolved creatures whose sole mission is to give and receive love. Ken, thank you for the heart me. Monica, I'm a fan of the guinea pig. I also like the little cosmos that the guinea pig hangs out in. I think that's super cute. So I hope everyone's having a BEA beautiful Tuesday. Tonight we're doing awards and sigils class in the Discord if you want to come hang out for that. Thursday I'm going to be doing an energy basics class here on the old Tiki Talk. And then Sunday we're doing a guided meditation too. So lots of stuff coming up this week. And movie night last night was Astral City. If you're someone who hasn't seen it, I suggest it. I think it was a really good movie. It came highly recommended. Is the dubbing horrible? Yes, the dubbing is terrible. But the plot of the movie is great. Which class? The Sigil and Wards class? It's about sigils and wards. So what I mean by that is there are some energetic protections at play. There are some use of sigils. We're going to talk about it in the class. But one of the things people commonly ask me about is how do you ward your name? That's something we're going to talk about in the class today. So if you're someone who wants to know how to ward your name, we're going to talk about making sigils and what sigils to use. If you're someone who knows anything about the Goetia, you would know that sigils and seals are a big part of that. One of the reasons I talk deeply about sigils and seals is because so I'm going to use Archangel Michael as an example. Archangel Michael has a seal. And I have seen people either wear this seal, like they get a necklace from Temu or something, and the seal is incorrect. And the seal that they actually have is more comparable to something out of the Goetia for like the Lesser Key of Solomon than it is for Archangel Michael. So, I have this sigil that I keep next to me all the time. It's the Eternal Charisma sigil. And I use it to help me kind of crawl out of my shell every now and then. So the other thing I will say, and we'll talk more about it, is as you do energy work, symbols, sigils, and things will come up more frequently, especially the more beings that you work with. I always use the example that the Mintonkans have a very specific symbol that they give to people to connect into them and to use for heart activations. So there are ways you can use your own. You get them from other places. Sometimes we get them through meditation. I can tell you the last two like seals and symbols that came through my meditation. Whenever I ask my guides for help around protection work, they usually provide me the symbols to utilize for that. So we're going to talk about all those things tonight. And then I'll show you how to make your own. I have to take you off the thing. So like right here, oh, can you see? Right here is a ward. Okay, so it has rib bones on it. It also has a crystal grid in the middle. And then it has very specific sigils around it. And then oh God, there's another one up here. It has a jawbone on it. And it has some other stuff sigiled in the back. So you can make it however you want to. So if you're someone who just wants to come with a pen and a piece of paper, that works. If you want to utilize bones, if you want to utilize crystal grids, if you have made your own sigil, if there's a sigil or a seal that your guides have given you, feel free to bring that. I also will have the talisman oracle out for people. So if you're someone who wants a pre-made sigil, we can do that. We'll also have the runes out as well. So it's a good place to come hang out, Hunter, if you are just dipping your toe into that. Hello, Rain. How you feeling, my friend? We're also going to do a group energy work here in a minute, Rain, if you would like to come be a part of it. That's a good time to come learn, Hunter, isn't it? It's a good time to come learn. You don't have to have a basic understanding of something to take a time to learn about it, I promise. Okay, perfect. We're going to do that. Dinky's got a bum foot, so we have to do some energy work for her foot. So I figure we'll do a big group energy work. We'll do it. It seems like people are working through some like ache and pain stuff going on. Some like lingering, I know sinus stuff has been a huge one. The class is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's during craft night. Amen to that, Miss Kendra. So it is tonight during craft night. Ooh, girl. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we got enough to start doing. Dinky's probably grating cheese, but I know she's in here and I can energetically grab her anyway. Okay, so then why don't we do it, my friends? Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a group energy work right now. If you are someone who would like to be a part of it, please feel free to stay in here. If you're someone who's like, no, don't touch me, feel free to scroll. There is no harm in it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put this right in front of my face so no one can miss what we're up to. Okay, I'm gonna change the sound bowls. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you were to hang out with me for this collective energy work, I'm going to ask you to find a place to sit or lay down, whatever works for you. Probably going to take us about 5 to 7 minutes. So hopefully a place that you won't be disturbed for like 5 to 7 minutes. Feel free to use headphones. Feel free to, I don't know, lay on the floor if you want, whatever is clever. Hi, Tanisha. How are you? So if you are someone who has never done energy work with me before, there is no prerequisite. I just need you to be willing to accept it and just be willing to be present with me. That is it. Some of you may feel stuff, some of you may not. Doesn't mean it's not working. It just means some people are more sensitive to their field than other people. So feel free to just hang along for the ride. If you get the yawns, totally okay. If you get the burps, totally okay. It's the way that our body processes energy. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you want to, they can be. I ask you to in the beginning, but if you can't, don't worry about it. I can still come over there and reach you. One of the reasons we do the eyes closed thing is just so you can be more present. That's all. All right, so what I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you can, is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes with me. I want you to imagine that I am standing on the right hand side of you. I have one hand here over your chest, and my other hand is directly parallel to this one just behind your back. Out of my hand is coming this really, really pretty emerald green light. When I ask you to take a deep breath in with me, I would like you to imagine that you are pulling that same green light from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. Okay? I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. And let it go. You're going to start to feel a lot of energy in your groin. Don't try to guide it. Just let it go wherever it needs to go. Big rush of energy up into your chest. You might even get hot for a second. I promise it'll pass. Feel some pressure in your sinuses. Another rush of energy from your chest down your back. Big rush of energy at your feet into your belly. Big rush of energy from your chest down your shoulders and into your hands. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is I'm going to ask you to imagine that in the center of your chest is this really pretty purple light. Every time you are taking a breath in, that light is getting bigger and bigger until it completely envelops you in a shield. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. And then let it go. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes and come back to me and tell me how you feel. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for the heart, me. I hope you're well. I also heard another fly during this. I don't know where it went, though, but I heard it. I heard it. Claire! Claire, how are you, my friend? In a good way, Tanisha, or in a good way, I am fabulous. We just did some collective energy work. It was fabulous. Fabulous. How's your back feel, Hunter? And also, don't forget the Sigil and Wards class is tonight if you're someone who wants to come hang out. And then we're doing an energy basics class here on TikTok on Tuesday. And then there are 4 spots left for the mediumship class. Good. I'm glad. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. You are so welcome, Kendra. Thank you for allowing me to. Good, Hunter. You're so welcome. So welcome. Thank you guys for allowing me to come and be helpful. It's much appreciative. You're so welcome. So welcome. Hunter, do you want your card for the day? Claire, Rain, do you guys want your cards for the day? I'd be happy to pull them for you. I also have 3 spots open if you're someone who wants to do an energy reading. If you want to do past life stuff or spirit guide stuff, I'm here for it. You're so welcome. Sometimes we need a nap, Rain, you know? Sometimes my guides do that. They come and they hang out with me and I feel like I'm just in this cocoon of love and it's like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. Bye. All right, let's see. What do I got for Hunter today? Hunter, this is the kangaroo. Be a force for good with Archangels Raquel, Dracissa, and Sandalphon. This is the card of the wise, balanced, and compassionate leadership. Be a peaceful warrior, an upholder of justice and equality. Particularly, help those who are vulnerable. Treat our beautiful planet with respect and love. Then nature will support you. At the same time, you're invited to tune into the information and knowledge held within Lemurian crystals. You may not be consciously aware that you're receiving light when you think about or hold one of them. Nevertheless, a download of keys and codes for the new golden age is being transmitted to you and will enable you to ease your journey through life. Be open to receiving it. Bam! That was fabulous. Hunter, love that. All right, Claire, what do we got? Claire, thanks for the hand hearts. All right, what do we got for Claire? Claire, this is the bee. Spread heart healing with joy with Archangel Preminalik. The bee card reminds you to do everything with joy. When you serve others and the planet with your heart open, an alchemical change takes place both in the giver and the receiver. You become one and thus spread oneness throughout the universe. Solidarity and togetherness grow in the consciousness of the world. So let your actions be purposeful and allow the higher purpose to work through you and guide you. Then your life flows and the highest good always unfolds for you. The bees also guide you to remember the power and light conferred by the use of sacred geometry. Use its principles in your home and workplace, and the angels will sing over you, bringing you light and peace. Hi, Country Belle. Tanya, thanks for the manifesting, my friend. Give me 1 second, and I'll come over and see what's up in your energy, and we'll pull your talisman. You're so welcome. Rain, did you want a card? I don't know if I saw it or not. Comments are getting weirdly filtered today for some reason, so I promise I'm not ignoring you. All right, Rain, let's see. Rain, this is the bat. See through illusion into truth with Archangel Dorenka. Let's see. Choosing this card suggests you open your heart and pour love into caring for and nurturing those close to you. When you raise the frequency of your heart center, it enables your throat to expand too. So focus on communicating with love and integrity. Then ask Archangel Michael to help you develop telepathy and your other psychic abilities. Tune into the bats to download your highest potential and perhaps even the spiritual technology of the future. Your guidance is also to look at the world with fresh eyes and perceive everything with wisdom. Listen to your intuition to discover the reasons beyond the obvious. Expand your life and remember, there is always a new way of doing things. Rain, that was fabulous. Tanya, can I come over and visit? Hi, Lexi, how are you? I hope everyone's having a beautiful Tuesday. We're hanging out. I have 3 full reading spots if you're someone who would like one. They're 22 a reading spot. There's a free class tonight in the Discord on wards and sigils. And there is an energy basics class here on TikTok on Thursday night. I think it's going to be a super fan live, so stay tuned for what happens with that. And then the mediumship development class has 4 spots left. If you are someone who would like to come hang out, and that class is on May 24th at 3 p.m. Lexi, thanks for the tater. Thanks for the tater. It's going to be fabulous. The past life class was super fun, so thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey for those who came. Ba-ba. Tanya, are you still here with me? Okay, is it okay if I come over and look in your energy so I can do your mini read? Heather, how are you? Kendra, I don't have any scholarship spots, but there is free resources between the Patreon and the YouTube if you wanted to check them out. And there's also free resources on the Discord as well. All right, let's see, Tanya, what we got. Tanya, do you deal with neck pain? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what I'm picking up. So one, your neck feels really heavy and it feels like it goes down into your shoulders. The other thing too is that it feels like it extends up into your crown. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get intermittent headaches. One of the biggest things that I see that kind of hangs out in the back of our necks is usually resentment, whether it's to ourselves or from things that have happened in the past. Let's see. The other thing too is your left hip feels heavy. Like it feels like it's like right in the like hip socket. And a lot of the times we hold repressed emotions in there as well. So if you notice that, sometimes maybe your hip twitches on its own, stuff like that, that's usually where that energy is stuck in. And let's see, the other thing that's lighting up for me is your left foot. And usually this is a sign of there's something, a fear of the unknown, a fear of something around the future. And it doesn't feel like it's like a big thing. It feels like it's just something that kind of nags there, but it definitely hangs out in your foot. Yeah, your neck is honestly the heaviest thing that I noticed, Tanya. All right, let's see. What is the talisman? Ooh, that was a little chaotic. That's interesting. This is the Let Go talisman. Let's see. Just like running water, everything keeps constantly changing. You've been holding on to a burden that's been slowing you down, and sometimes we know that what that is, and other times we need to examine our needs and our behavior. Often holding on comes from the need to control our life and surroundings. It gives us comfort that we can direct the circumstances and avoid a painful path. But if we let go of the illusion of control, we can find peace and enjoy the ride. Being vulnerable offers an opportunity for connection and closure. The little crab has to learn to let things go. The flower in front of him is a delicate gift from nature to bring joy. I release this energy is the affirmation for this card. Thanks for lighting up the roses in the TikTok, guys. You rock. Tanya, thanks for letting me come visit, my friend. It's good to see you. I hope you are well. Thank you guys for helping me light up the gift gallery. Eye twitches are usually can be a couple of things. So depending on which eye is twitching is a big sign. So usually when it's the left eye, people are having trouble perceiving something, especially about the future, about a situation. When people have a twitchy right eye, it's usually something from the past. You're not seeing clearly. Something from the past is affecting your perspective. The other thing too is sometimes I see people have hooks that they get stuck in their eye. That's a whole conversation for another day. So sometimes there's hooks that are there. And what else? Those are the main big ones I see for eye twitchy stuff. Country Belle, feel free. So at the beginning of the year, At the beginning of the year, I do like a clear out of people, and so I don't know if that's when it was, but feel free to reapply and I'd be more than happy to add you into it. Thank you, Leah. It is. It's really fun to learn about energetic stuff for sure. Thank you for the heart me. So I hope everyone is having an absolutely beautiful day. So last night was movie night. Tonight in the Discord we're doing I totally might have Country Bell. If people didn't react to the post, I removed them from the Discord. So that totally could have been it. So couple things. Tonight is a free class that we're doing on wards and sigils. Last night's movie was Astral City. Feel free, it's on Gaia on YouTube if you're someone who wants to check it out. We watched Astral City, A Spiritual Journey last night. Tonight is craft night. We're doing a class on wards and sigils. Thursday, I think I'm going to do a Superfans class on TikTok about energy basics if you're someone who wants to come hang out for that. There are 4 spots left for the mediumship class on the 24th. It's $33 a spot. I have 4 spots left. We just did the past life class on Sunday. That was super fun. And the next class that's going to be coming up after the mediumship class is going to be the spirit guide class. So that'll be the next one coming up. And then don't forget, if you are someone in Patreon, every month we do a workshop in Patreon, and this month's workshop in Patreon is all about the clairs. So claircognizance, clairsentience, what it looks like, how to use them. We're going to get in depth, and it's also a time for you guys to ask your questions about stuff. So feel free to come hang out. And don't forget that Ember's on a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out. Our next guided meditation is on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Hi, Tom. So yeah, feel free. What's your question, Heather? What is your question? The Claire's class is the Ether workshop of the month. So it's for the Patreon people. So it's on the Patreon schedule. Hold on. Tom, thanks for that. 1 second. It's on the 20th. Ether Study Hall is on the 20th. It's at 7 p.m. my time. Tom, let's see. Oh my gosh. Tom, this is the llama. Set clear boundaries and enforce them with Archangel Shamuel. You're welcome. Welcome. And don't forget too, if you're someone on the Patreon, you can go back and watch the other Ether Study Halls of the month. Heather, give me a second. I'm going to answer your question. This is the card of pure love. It suggests your heart is warm and open, so you may let others impose on your good nature or drain you. Decide what is acceptable for you. Then it is important to set clear boundaries. As we are all energetically intertwined, it may be enough for you to define these boundaries mentally. However, your guidance is to be prepared to enforce them tactfully if necessary. Then you will find it easier to follow your heart and be loyal, caring, and patient with your loved ones and those in need. Remember to find time to see positive friends and do things that make you feel relaxed and happy, as this will give you energy and keep your frequency high. It'll benefit you to tune into the cosmic heart for love and support. Tom, that was fab. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. You're okay. I just want to make sure I understand your question. So let me, because I'm a very literal person, so I just want to double check. So are you asking me if there are days where I feel like unmotivated, or like if there are times where I don't feel like it's worth it? Is that what you're asking? Thanks for the heart me, Tom. So I would probably have to bring you back to how Ether and Ash started. So I didn't ever tell anybody about my mediumship. I didn't tell anybody about my animal stuff. I didn't tell anybody anything in my life, because any times that I would try, especially my family, they didn't believe anything I said. And so when my guides started telling me like this is something we're gonna do, and then it started being confirmed by other people, my biggest fear was not that would people care, but it's I didn't want to hurt anybody. Like I didn't want to bring any information through that would cause harm. And so that was my biggest barrier, and it goes to my soul contracts about taking my power back. And so what I realized early on is a couple things. One, in building a community, it's not for everybody. I am not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. And I don't take it personally because everybody is at a different point. And I also understand my energy is extremely polarizing. It has always been that way. My whole life, people either love me or they hate me. There is really no in between. I also am able to see things that other people try to avoid, and I'm very honest about them, which is why I know that I'm not the practitioner for everybody, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not here also to do the work for anybody. I'm here to help them learn to do the work. And so really, honestly, Heather, all I know is that the universe aligns the right people, right? And so I don't try to, in the beginning I used to do mediumship all the time. And then what I realized is I was only attracting people who were interested in mediumship. And there is so much more to me than that. And also, I feel like a lot of the times mediumship isn't used in the proper way it's supposed to be, which is supposed to be a healing journey. It's supposed to be a part of your journey, not something you come and do because it sounds fun to do at one time. And that's what I see a lot of people do. So really, my soul contract and my divine spark in life is to help people learn to love themselves. And so what that really is leading by example. It's the reason that I'm so honest about everything I do. There's discipline involved in doing this stuff. Other things like that. So I honestly, Heather, I don't usually ever worry about what people think of me. There will always be people who don't like me. There will be people who will have different viewpoints, and they're all to that. I just focus on doing my work because I know I'll attract the right people. So I don't really set any expectations. I learned a long time ago, one of my biggest phrases used to be, is my anger due to unmet expectation? And half the time the answer was yes. The other thing I've learned too is other people's projections aren't of me, they're of themselves. And so all I really do is just do what I'm set here to do and what my passion is, and the right people come along. Yeah, there are people who don't understand. There are people who have different perspectives. That's okay. They're not my people. That's why I also say I never want to be a creator who has 1,000 people in here. I really don't. Because I don't feel like this work should be performative. I feel like this work is really to help people reconnect into themselves. And the difference I see with a lot of practitioners is like they're very flashy about, look at me, look what I can do. And it's like, that's great. We all can do that. And you, in my opinion, we should all be helping each other get to that point. So that's why I teach so much. Honestly, too, Heather, I love to teach. Like, I have so much fun teaching people in class, being able to see people get confirmations, being able to see people connect the dots. That really is where it is for me. My other favorite thing to do is shadow alchemy sessions, because really being able to get to the nitty gritty of what are the patterns that are holding you back? What are the things that you're refusing to look at? And you know, one of the last shadow alchemy sessions I did, the client was like, that doesn't make me feel better. And I said, yeah, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to help you look in the mirror. Because that's one of the hardest things. So I will tell you, Heather, that like I did have to work on my fear of being perceived. It just is something you have to be disciplined and dedicated to. And I know a lot of people have struggle with the word discipline because it approaches like a negative connotation, but it's really like for your benefit, in my opinion. Like I do so many things for myself that I never used to do, and in making sure I take care of myself, I can then be available to help other people. So are there some days where I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this? Yeah. I think I even said to Ken yesterday, I had just gone on a really long walk. It was hot outside, and I was like, I am so lazy, I don't want to do this right now. I was like, but I'm gonna. And it's because it's not about me. Like, yes, this is my business. Yes, this is how I make money, but the universe provides all of those things for me if I just keep showing up and doing what I can to help humanity. And I know that sounds really crazy to a lot of people. It used to sound crazy to me. But truthfully, like, source and provides for me every single day. Every day. And the more I have let go, as my guide will say, the buoyancy principle. But the more that I have let go and surrendered to things, and the less I worry about stuff, the more things are taken care of. One of the biggest things I've worked on in the last 6 months is my relationship to money. I used to be really afraid to spend money, like even on things I needed. I remember a couple months ago, I really realized I had an issue because I had ordered $20 worth of books off of Thrift Books. And I said to Ken, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to get in trouble. Ugh. And it was like I was spending my own money. And so that day I really had to take a hard look at, like, where is that coming from, and work through that. And truthfully, since I've stopped worrying about that, the universe provides. And I'm not saying I don't have like a big mansion or whatever, but I have everything that I could need. Jack has everything he could need. And the more I show up and just continue to be myself and help other people, the more the universe seems to kind of support that. So I really think it's just some of the shadow work around what people think, because I used to care what people think. I really did. Nowadays I could give a F less. Because what I've learned is the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. And you'll attract the right people. And I'm not saying I always have. I have 110% attracted some of the worst people, even starting this journey. I don't know, some people might remember, but in the very beginning of me coming onto TikTok, I attracted some like shady practitioners. I don't know how else to say that. I'm not trying to talk shit about them, but like, I 100% attracted some practitioners who tried to just jump on the bandwagon of what I was doing. And it wasn't for my benefit. Like, I had people trying to tell me how to do things. I had people trying to tell me how to listen to my guides. And it was all because when I first came on here, I was honest and said, I'm just starting out. And you'll notice that one of the first practitioners to ever kind of confront me about this was someone who'd been doing this work for 30 years. And when I started doing subscriptions and stuff, I just remember her saying to me, like, I've been doing this for 30 years and no one wants to pay me. And in my head, I'm like, it's because you're rude as fuck. Like, respectfully, you are so rude. And the reason is because she wasn't nice to herself. And so that's one of my biggest things, especially with what I teach, is like the inner work is so important, because the inner work displays your outer world. So that's why I'm so big on like shadow work, because it really is the key. Because once you understand yourself and why you are the way that you are, you will be able to see it in so many people that you won't be able to shut it off anymore. You'll be like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I understand that. And it's because you've done the work in here. So I know that was a really long-winded explanation, but you'll get there. It's just the more you really are willing to look inside here, and a lot of people aren't. A lot of people would rather diagnose other people and try to figure other people out than themselves. Right? My guides tell me that one of the other things that I'm supposed to teach here is discipline. And I have to tell you, it's one of the most frustrating things to try to get through to people, because I have people who I work with, like, that will commit to the most horrendous, abusive people their whole life, but they will not commit to themselves. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes I want to jump through the phone and be like, hello? But I've also been there. So like, there's nothing I can say. You know what I mean? It's just, we're all on different journeys. But my biggest thing is getting people to commit to themselves. And that takes discipline. And a lot of people will be disciplined for other people, but they won't for themselves. And that starts at the core of self-worth. So that's one of the biggest things that's one of my biggest goals within my Akashic record, is to help other people love themselves. And the only way I was able to do that was by having to learn it myself, if that makes sense. All right, let's see what your card is. Yeah, I know, I was just thinking about that. I just got some weird text message too. I don't know what was up with that. All right, Heather, let's see. This is the Pig. Maintain self-worth and self-esteem with Archangels Mary, Gabriel, and Uriel. All right, let's see. Here, and then Heather, I have one more thing to tell you after this. This card tells you that it's time to remember how special you are. Your soul has had to have been at least 7-dimensional to be allowed to incarnate on Earth. And like most beings, when you step down into a body, much of your knowledge and wisdom was lost to you. Your guidance is to meditate for a few minutes each day on the gifts, talents, and wisdom held in your soul. Then ask for them to be made to you for the greatest and highest good. I forgot what I was going to say, so it couldn't have been that important. But Spirit obviously knows. So it's a process. Honestly, I always tell people, don't look at this as a marathon. Just look at it as a slow jog. It just takes time. You're so welcome. So welcome. I really don't remember what the hell I was going to say now. That kind of, is infuriating. But that's all right. That happens. It happens. Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. I have no problem having these conversations. I love to do it. Because I really think one of the hardest parts is getting people to see their worth. And then if you ever bring up to somebody, if you ever bring up to somebody their self-worth, it can be, some people take things as an attack when it isn't supposed to be that way, and it's just where they are on their journey. So that's why I've really learned to just speak the truth, and a lot of the times, though they may have a reaction, it's something they needed to hear, and because of the reaction they had, they'll probably think about it a lot more, and maybe we'll start to do some of the inner work. So yeah, are there, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done some readings for people before, where their guides have really called them out. And the people have been really offended by it. You know, I've had people say to me, like, don't they have anything nice to say? Like, isn't there anything, you know, and it's like, and then the other thing too is I've had some people who come to me for a reading every week, and I give them the same information, and every week they're shell shocked. And it's like, there have been people I'm like, don't ask me for a reading until you're ready to do the work you've already been given. It's another thing too, if you're someone who does private teaching stuff with me, there's homework involved, there's private study involved. And one of the things is, and you know, if you don't do the private study and the stuff in between sessions, I'll cancel the next one. It's because if you're not willing and ready to put in the effort and show up, I cannot do it for you. That's something I tell people all the time. I cannot do the work for you. I cannot pass through love and all these things through osmosis. It takes work and dedication. And the other thing I noticed too is people seem to only run to spirituality like when they're having a bad day. And I always wonder why. Why don't you go when you're having a good day? Like, why don't you say thank you, you know, for like, because without the bad day, the good day wouldn't exist. And I think people come into this work because they think it's going to save them or it's going to completely change their life. And if you're willing to put in the work, sure, it will. It will change a whole lot of things, but only if people are ready and willing to do it. Yeah, it isn't. It really isn't. It isn't. And I used to feel that way. It was one of the things I had to learn early on in mediumship too, because a lot of the times when you're doing mediumship in a setting like this, it's very spur of the moment. And so you'll be bringing through information, and the person you're doing the reading for will be like, that doesn't make sense, or that doesn't make sense. And if you're not careful, it'll make you doubt yourself. But I will tell you that 100 times out of 100 times, whenever I tell someone to pin it, or like put a, just put a pin in it, they'll come back to me a week later, 2 weeks later, and be like, oh, this completely makes sense. But if I had listened to the no at the time, right, I would have thought that I was wrong. And so it really is about trusting in yourself. And the more you do trust yourself, the more you do work on your intuition, people won't be able to tell you anything about yourself. And that self-doubt will go away. And people won't also be able to tell you your intention either, because you already know it. So I hope that was helpful, but truthfully, yeah, it really is about, and it's about just letting people be who they are, and the only thing you can control is your reaction to it. That's about it. The only thing you can do. So don't get me wrong, I remember the other thing I wanted to tell you. We talk about anxiety in here a lot, about what anxiety feels like, and a lot of the times, Monica, I'd like, just throw me to the wolves. Oh shit, I've lost it again. Goddamn, hold on. Come back, please, come back. Shit. Yep, it's okay. It wasn't you. It's my own squirrel up here. I don't remember what it was now. It was something. Couldn't have been that important again. Couldn't have. Oh, fuck. I do remember. I do. I'm spitting it out before I forget. Okay. We talk about anxiety in here a lot, right? What anxiety feels like. And we're sometimes so programmed to assume what anxiety is that we're like, oh, it's just me. Something's wrong with me. And what I've learned is, if you've ever taken a class with me, I admit this too, I have no problem doing it. If you've ever taken a class with me, I will tell you that a couple hours before the class, every time I have the class, I'm like, I'm canceling. We're not doing this today. This just happened with the past life class. And it's not because I'm having anxiety. It's because every guide or spiritual being knows that the class is today. They know who's coming. They know what they need. So a couple hours before, the morning of, they're all like, hello, hi, hello, hi. And it's like, oh my fuck. This happened for the past life class on Sunday. I went for my walk Sunday morning. I woke up really anxious. There were guides everywhere. And so I made myself go walk, because even on days where I don't want to, I make myself. That's one of the discipline things, because I know that into it, I will feel better. So I started walking. I got about 4 miles in. Yep, Tink, totally normal. And I felt better at the end. And so then like an hour or two before class, I went to meditate, and everybody's past life mentor was up there. And I was like, can you guys come back in an hour or something? Cause you guys are like, you're raising it too much in here, that like because there's so many of them and the energy just gets so much that it's like, we're done. I'm quitting. I think I even told all the past life people that for the class on Sunday. I said, your guides have been here since this morning. I said, and they all have things to say, and they're all super excited. So this is why I tell people, like, if you're going to do mediumship, if you're getting this big wave of nervousness from somewhere, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You just got to sit and ask some questions. The way I checked in on it was about an hour before the past life class. I every time I do a class or a live stream or any of these things, I always set up a sacred space. I do my invocation. I do all my protection stuff, because it's very different to protect yourself versus a whole group of people. So I spend the time doing that. And as I did that, everybody's guides were lined up and they were all so excited. And they were also excited because there were so many people who were so nervous that they weren't going to do a good job or things like that. And they did amazing. So it's really cool to see both sides and just how like happy everybody is. So I'm really excited to see how the mediumship class goes at the end of the month. It's not even that. It's like, let me give you an example. So lost loved ones resonate like here, and then guides resonate like here, and then interdimensional beings and like ascended masters are like up here. And so sometimes that energy flux feels like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. That's the best way I can describe it. It's your nervous system trying to adjust, especially when there's a lot of them. So it's just about asking them to come in a different form. So I'm going to give you a story real quick. I have a guide who isn't your typical, I don't have a lot of love and light guides. That's just the best way I'm going to put it. I believe there's duality in all things, and I have guides who 100% represent that. And so when I was first allowing one of my guides to come in so I could channel, one day I'll post the video of it, but I set up a video and I was allowing my guide to come in and channel, and he kept making the left side of my face lift up in a snarl. Like the whole left side of my face was curling up. It was like snarling, like it was just this like, I'm gonna bite your head off energy. And I was like, can we not? And so every time I would like let him in, that would start happening, I'd kick him out. Cause I'm like, I hate that. And so I had to like have a come to energy moment of like, can you please shift your energy in a way that is way more comfortable than whatever that is? Because I do not like that. And all I had to do was ask. And he did. And I still have the video. I was able to watch how the whole way that my face shifted. It wasn't up in a snarl anymore. It was different. And the way he came in was much different. So this is another reason I don't tell people the names of their spirit guides, because we get, no, he's something. We'll leave him for another day. He's different. I forgot what I was going to say again. Fuck. Yep, she gone. She gone. Don't remember. Couldn't have been that important. Oh, names. The reason I don't tell people their names of their spirit guide is because this is a relationship you're going to build. Something else I learned early on is they're not as bent out of shape as names as we are in the physical realm. Names aren't a really big thing up there. To be very honest with you, most of them, when you ask them a name, they'll make up one for you. They will. That's not their name. And so the reason is because you start to learn them by their energy, right? The way they feel, the sensations they carry. That is how you know them. That is how you know the essence of a being, not by their name. So this is the other reason that I always teach about protection stuff too, because when you have a guide, like it's very easy for a trickster spirit to come in and look like one of your guides or look like someone or say they are someone. But if you touch their energy, that's not who they say they are. And so that's why I always really harp on energetic foundations, because there are so many different beings that have different ways of presenting, and depending on who you're working with, it could be one way or the other. So this is why I always tell people, focus on how things feel, what energy signatures look like, versus getting hung up on people's names, because they will make up a name that works for you, not their actual name. Hi, Stacy. Hunter, it depends. So your your guides, some are there for you. Others are a part of your soul family. And it really depends. Some guides also come and go. So some may be with you for certain transitions in life, and then they'll leave and they'll go on to the next person. So you might have one or two that are just with you. But this is the other thing too. I think people sometimes fall under the pretense that your guides are omnipresent, and they're not always. So that's why people are like, can't you see what's going on? You're not going to do anything. No, because they're probably not there. So you may have to make sure you ask for help. This is something we talk about all the time. This is why when I teach mediumship and stuff, you have to do your invocation and your protection work properly. This is why whenever you're going to connect in with your guides, you have to do your invocation. Otherwise, you may be talking to them and they're not even there. And you never asked them to be there. You never called them to be there. You never asked them for help. So they're off doing something else. So that's why I always tell people, set your intention with that and make sure you actually say, hello, can you please come? Hello, so-and-so, can you please? You have to create that relationship with them versus just expecting them to do type of thing. Do. Exactly. Thanks for the donut. Stacy, how are you? Veronica, right? I have it written down. My snarly guide, that's what we'll call him. The snarly guide, he's what you would call primordial. So, some people have seen him. When I come over to do energy work, sometimes people will say they see me and then they see this humongous like ball of light behind me. It looks like the Northern Star. Sometimes that's how he'll appear, depending on who's looking at him. Sometimes he's, some people have been like, what is that? And I'm like, he's fine. Don't worry about him. And then I've had other practitioners that are like, oh, you work with so-and-so. And I'm like, yep, he's there, hangs out. So it's just that there are, also you got to remember, you make soul contracts with people throughout time. So the spirit guides and stuff you have now, you've worked with them before in a myriad of ways, whether it was here in an incarnation or somewhere else, soul, spiritually wise. My guide for the Akashic Record, who's a keeper of the Akashic Record, is a Lyran. We've had lifetimes together, and it is written in our soul contract that we are to do this work together in this lifetime to help other people. So that's how he came into my life, but I had to seek him out. It's not like he just showed up one day and was like, hey girl, I had to go on a mission to find something I was looking for, and then he appeared. So sometimes they'll just bump around and be like, hey. Other times you'll go to do something because you've made the decision, hey, I'm going to do this work now. And then they'll be like, hello, I'm here to help. So there's a ton of different ways that they come. Let's see. I have it written down. I used to be really wound up about my guides' names too, until I was told to get over it. And I wrote down the quote. Okay. The quote from my guide is this: names are ways of knowing a being, but are not the being. Okay. And then a name holds power was another thing he said that day. So yeah, that was his big phrase of the day, was names are ways of knowing a being, but are not the being. So this is why I always say, I won't ever tell you your guide's name. And then the other thing I'm going to tell you too, a lot of the times your guides will give you a name that's easy for you to understand. So I'm going to tell you real quick. When I was, I don't know, like 16, I think, I had already had like some deity experience and things like that. I had, I had dealt with dead people, but I never really was like, hey, let's make this like a relationship, whatever. And so I remember I was in my bed one day and I just was like, hey, guide up there, what's your name? And I just very vividly remember getting the name Samantha. And I went, that makes no sense. You're this big cosmic being and you just have a regular name. I'm like, that don't make any sense. And within the last 6 months, I remembered that for some reason. And when I looked up the name Samantha, it has two meanings. There's a Sanskrit meaning, but the main meaning that like still to this day gives me goosebumps is God has heard, or God's listener. So This is why too, if you get a name and you're like, wow, that's a very plain name, go look up the meaning of the name, because you also have to remember that a lot of base of language is from Hebrew and Sanskrit. So it goes way past things that we understand. So the first guide who ever presented herself to me and gave her name was God is Heard. And that's what she did. She listened to me because I had a really not great teenage years, and she was there for that. Hi, Jen Marie. So I'm looking up something, Monica. Did you know what the name Ray stands for? Because it stands for beam of light, counsel, or king. And I will tell you, the mantis are big on counsel. Very much so. Jen Marie, how are you, my friend? So this is why when you get a random name and you're like, that sounds too simple, dig into it a little bit. And then especially if you need that confirmation piece of it. And then sometimes you won't always get a confirmation that you're looking for a while. So the first time a mantis being ever appeared to me, it was because I was trying to learn about my divine spark. And I learned that my first incarnation was with the mantis, and then my second incarnation was Pegassian. So it made a lot of sense. One, around energy healing, and two, my obsession with Pegasus and unicorns. Made lots of sense. And so the way this happened was like 2 weeks before I went to actually get what my divine spark was. I was doing a meditation, and this being appeared out of the side of my eye. And I was like, what is that? And my brain was like, you're making that up, which is strange because I was literally astral traveling. So that's whatever. We still have those moments. And I just remember seeing him and I'm like, nope, I'm hallucinating. That's not there. That's not there. And I went about my business, and then I came out of the meditation, ignored it. The next time I went to go do this meditation, he was there with like 100 people behind him of the same race. And I was like, definitely making that up, like definitely full of it, 100% full of it. So then I did my divine spark and found out that my original spark isn't even from this universe, and it started with the mantis. And so I tried not to ever tell anybody that because people really judge the mantis, but I got over it real quick. And then the next time I went up to this place, he was right in front of my face. I mean, when I tell you, he was like right here. And he's like, do you believe me now? And I was like, okay. Yep. Yes, I do. And from then on, he was willing to help me with my energy work. But it took me a while to be open to him. Same with the Octurians. The Mintonkans I sought out. So that one was different. And then dragons have always been a thing. They've always been around, in case you haven't seen their eyeballs. And yeah, it's just, there are some times where they have to make themselves like super in front of my face for me to take them. Because there are still times where I'm like, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Even when I started working with my guide for past life stuff, he didn't talk to me for a month. I've talked about this in the class. And I even went to another practitioner who confirmed everything I already knew. And I was like, you have to stop outsourcing what you know. And those are small ways that I honestly started trusting myself more too, is just being able to have these experiences and being able to not be in a fear state while having them is the other thing. If you are someone who is still, and this is not a judgment statement because it took me a long time to get there. If you are someone who is still like really nervous, about a lot of things in the physical world, you still are holding on to a lot of shadow work, your galactic interactions will not be very frequent at all because you won't be able to hold their frequency. You'll scare the out of yourself. So that is why I always tell people, like, go slow, start with your dead people, and I promise you, the more work you do, you will have so I do a walking meditation every day. That's part of my life. Some days I go 2 miles, some days I go 4 miles, some days I go whatever. I do a walking meditation every day. And today, I had some guides with me, and we were talking about quite a lot of things. And one of the things was the first time I ever had a person etherically project themselves into my bedroom. And what I've realized in doing this work is humans are more dangerous than any being I've ever met in my life. And I've met some weird beings. I don't know if anybody remembers the trash guy that I had to kick out of my last apartment. He smelled like a landfill on the 4th of July, and I had to get him out of my apartment. He wasn't nice, but he also wasn't, like, I would rather deal with him than a shitty person. So I mean, I've had some experiences where people are like, I would shit myself. And I'm like, I think it's because I've had these experiences since I was a kid and I'm so used to it. It's not even funny. There are some times where I'm just like, I don't have time for you. I need you to do something else. And like, not too long ago, I had a guide I was working with, and I was trying to ignore him because I didn't want to deal with what he wanted me to deal with. And then he broke my shelf with all his books on it at 11:30 at night. So they'll get your attention one way or another, but it's also up for you to make the decision of what you want to do. So, Hunter, what I will say, oh, Monica, I love that. What I will say is this. My guides will direct me to a person every now and then if I really need some confirmation or something. But it's not very often that I seek out readings from other people. I do from time to time, but I also will tell you at this moment, I can't afford some of the, like, the practitioners I would go to for readings. I just can't afford them right now. I can't. I know I get sometimes flack about like my readings and stuff price wise, but I hope you know there are some people on this app who charge you $500 for 15 minutes. I looked into doing a session with this really renowned energy healer not too long ago, and it's $1,300 for an hour session. And so I, a lot of the times, will just find a way to figure it out myself with my guides. And it's a lot of trial and error, truthfully. And I think that's why I'm so hell-bent on trying to teach people how to do this for themselves. Because, one, you get information you want. 2, you start to build back your self-worth. 3, you're building life skills that you can use. Because I feel like it's that same teach a man to fish and he'll eat forever. It's the same thing with this. So that's why I always say, you know, I have no problems doing readings for people, but my guides have already told me that there will be a day that comes where I will not do readings for people anymore. They've told me that explicitly, that there will come a time where I do not offer readings anymore. And I don't know when that will be, but I know it will happen eventually. And it's because my alignment is going to shift a little bit into doing more teaching stuff. There's going to be some writing stuff coming down the pipeline eventually. So for now, this is where I'm at. But I know one day I won't offer them anymore. And I think the reason is because I will be pushing those readings to the people who are learning versus me, if that makes sense. I do. Yep. I think there's a part of that. I really do think there's a big part of that. I think I will be suggesting people go to other people who are in classes and things like that versus me. And I'll tell you, there are some days where I'm very honest about it. I never used to be. I used to come on here 7 days a week and do readings, even if I didn't want to. And there are some days where I'm like, I don't have the capacity to hold things for other people in their sense. I also find it very redundant sometimes to share like to do a reading when I know that the action isn't going to be backed up from the reading. That's another thing too. I can't control that, but sometimes it does get frustrating because it's a lot of effort to do readings. It's a lot of effort to do energy work. I will tell you that after the past life class on Sunday, I literally laid back in bed and didn't move for 2 hours. I was dead to the world, like dead. Dinky found me wandering around outside not too long after that too. Not like in a bad way, but like it takes so much out of you that you're just like a cadet for a while. Because it really does, like it's taxing on your energy. So I also know myself, like I'm a projector, right? I'm not a generator. I don't have an endless supply of energy like other people, and I have to be cognizant of how I use it. And I've gotten better at listening to my guides about it. Because there will be some days where I'll go to do, I'll go to come on live, or I'll go to do an energy work, and they're like, no, not today. And I'm like, okay. And it's one of the reasons we stopped Subscriber Sunday. If you are someone who's been around since Subscriber Sunday, you may remember that Subscriber Sunday got wild. There was a point where Subscriber Sunday was lasting 7-8 hours. And there were a couple times after the sub readings, I would turn the live off and I passed out in my beanbag because I was so fucking tired. It was fucking crazy. And we stopped doing that for my own sanity. And I lost a lot of people with that, but I couldn't do it. My poor mods couldn't do it either. I was dead to the world. And so that's why we've kind of changed some of it a little bit. That's also why we have multiple live stream sessions in Patreon for people's readings too. So it's not just all in one go. How do some past people just pop into your space when you're not even doing mediumship? They come to say hello. They hang out quite a bit. I have had people come to visit all the time. My dad used to be famous for this. I feel like I've told you guys this story before, but I set up parameters around certain things of certain times a day. So I don't let dead people in my room after a certain time. My guides can only come in my room if there's a life-threatening emergency, like you have something to tell me. Otherwise, from like 11 o'clock until 7 in the morning, this room is warded and you are not coming in here. And if you are in here, I know we have a problem because Jack's going to start growling. And if Jack growls at something that comes in the room, I don't even ask questions anymore. I kick it out. Like, I don't even try to figure out what it is anymore. I trust Jack to the point where if he's growling, if he's barking at something, especially at 2:22 in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm just kicking it out because you don't belong in here. My dad used to be famous for, I would be in bed, it would be midnight, and my dad would pop in, and I'd be like, excuse me, and he'd go, I'm on the other side of the wall. I'm on the other side of the wall. I'm on the other side of the door. And it's like, oh, so, they'll find a way to just pop in and say hello. They really have no problem doing that, especially like his claim to fame used to be, it's not like you're sleeping. No. So they'll pop in to say hello. The other way that I have spirits that come to me all the time, my Nana likes to show up a lot. My grandpa hangs around with me a lot. He has for a long time. But my Nana comes in every now and then. I can tell because she's like a wave of lilacs or mothballs. It depends. Her dad comes in. He smells a very particular way, so I know it's him. Her sister comes to visit with her sometimes. She also has a very particular smell, so I know who it is. And then energetically, I can pick up on who's who. So it also, the way some messages come through, like if a Disney song starts blasting through my head, I know it's my dad. Things like that. So they'll come in to say hello. They're with you. Dinky and I were actually talking about this morning. So here, I'll tell you another story. Yep, they come and go. So I want you guys to know a couple of things. Dead people don't just like hang out with you all the time. They come and go. They go visit places they used to like to go. One of the things my Nana told me when she passed is that she wanted me to travel more because she wasn't able to travel. And now one of the things she does is she goes places. All the places that she's always wanted to go, she goes to. There are some people when they pass, they get jobs on the other side. So here, I was talking to Dinky about this morning. So I'm going to explain to you just how much your lost loved ones are aware of things, okay? So one of the things that I see pretty commonly when I do mediumship, especially if someone like loses their husband or their boyfriend or their girlfriend, whatever, they're like, oh, I can't move on. I don't want them to get mad at me that I'm with someone else or things like that. I had a boyfriend who passed. He passed away in 2013. I can probably tell you to this day, I would consider him like my soulmate, and he has come through and said that to other mediums as well. And so the last boyfriend I had, we went to a mediumship reading together with the medium who actually really got me started on going into my journey, because the first time I ever went to her, I didn't want to go. I didn't sign up for it. My mom did. And it was because my boyfriend had just died and I was a mess. And so my mom brought me to her, and the first thing that the medium said to me is, you know you can do this, right? And I went, no, don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. And I just kind of ignored her. And she did this reading for me and brought him through. And I was like, oh, because she brought up so much stuff that there's no way. Like the very specific one, well, there was two very specific ones that she brought through. One of them got me in trouble with my mom because my mom didn't know. And then the other one was not a big deal. But the first thing he said to her is, I have the baby, which caused my mom to whip at me. And I went, not now. Let's have this conversation later. So that was, I got outed there. This is why I always say careful who you talk to dead people around. And then the second thing that he said to her that really made me know that she was talking to him was, she, right out of her mouth, she goes, ask her about the time I dyed her hair orange. And I about shit myself, because there are only 3 people in the world who knew that he did that. And one of them was dead. And the other one was me. There was no way that she knew that. No way. So I was like, oh, you're not kidding. Like we are on it. So he passed in 2013. And when he passed, I first off relapsed. And then I was like, I'll never find the love of my life again, blah, 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 blah. And so my last partner that I was with, we went to this same medium together. She was doing a Zoom reading. And my boyfriend came through, and he was trying to be very polite of my new partner. And one of the things he said to her is, she's my soulmate and she knows it. And she was, I just want her to be happy. And so then he didn't say anything, you know, really big about our relationship then, but he came through like towards the end of my relationship. And it was not a planned mediumship. Like I just happened to meet this woman that day, and she just started reading me, which is why I tell people don't do that, because there's ethics involved in that. So please, for the love of God, don't just start reading people without their permission. So this woman started reading me without my permission. And he came through, and she looked at me and goes, who bangs your bedroom door open? Because that really pisses him off. And I went, oh my God. Because at the time, my partner used to do that to me all the time. I would leave my bedroom door cracked a little bit for my dog. And every time he would come up and down the stairs, he would punch the door open. So the door would go flying. I would scare the shit out of me every time. And he thought it was funny. And so my past boyfriend came through to say, I don't like that. And I was like, well, I don't like it either. So I don't know what you want me to do. And so this is just one of the examples of, they see everything. Like they come to visit more often than you think they do. A lot of the times they, you know, kind of observe, they'll do whatever. My dad, when he died, my dad died on a Monday night. My dad died on a Monday night at 10:15 at night. Nobody called or told me until Thursday. So there's a big discrepancy there, okay? But I'm going to tell you that I knew something was wrong, because what happened is I was asleep that night before 10:15, okay? At 10:15 on the dot, I shot up in bed like I had just been shot. I was like, I remember waking up and I'm like, what the hell? And then I felt sick. Like I felt nauseous. And so I didn't sleep that night. I was up pretty much all night long. And then I had an IUD appointment the next day. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, I'm anxious for this appointment, whatever. So Tuesday comes, I go get my IUD. And now I'm attributing the nausea to that, right? I'm like, oh, that's what it is. That's not what it was. The nausea stayed Tuesday, Wednesday. It stayed all day Thursday until the phone rang Thursday night. And the second that somebody told my physical body what was happening, my nausea disappeared. And I am convinced it is because my father was in my space the whole time, and my body knew that my soul knew something else. There was a mismatch, right? And that's why I felt nauseous right up until then. And I'm telling you, the second I found out, nausea gone. And it's because my soul knew what my body didn't. They come to visit all the time. I knew my grandfather was gone before anybody told me either, because he came to visit me. They will come find you, because a lot of the times, especially depending on how people pass, they're out of their body before their body is gone. So my boyfriend who died, he was on life support for 2 days. He was not in his body those 2 days. He was gone. Gonzo. He was already up there while his body was down here. He had left prematurely. That happens quite a bit. So that's why when people are like, I don't want them to suffer or anything, they're not. They will exit stage left. Like, I promise you, they will. And I knew he was gone because I went to go say goodbye to him while he was on life support. And I just remember walking into the room and I went, he's not in here. Like, his body was there, but he was not there. It felt so surreal because he wasn't there. His body was there, but he wasn't. And this is why I always tell people, just because they're physically gone does not mean they're gone at all. They are here all the time. I have coffee with my dad every morning. Honestly, even if I don't drink coffee, every morning he hangs out with me. Every morning. So they are there. And my dad has even told another medium this. We have a better relationship now than we did when he was alive. Hunter, I have to ask you, how many people do you ask to find it? Thanks for the rose. Hello, everybody. If you're just coming into my ramble, it's nice to meet ya. My name is Molly. We talk about all things spiritual around here, whether it's mediumship, spirit guide stuff, whatever it may be. We also do a lot of teaching. So we have a lot of classes coming up soon, whether you want to do mediumship work, whether you want to do past life stuff, energy stuff, tons and tons of classes coming around. So feel free, hang out with us. We have a whole beautiful community of people who are learning and growing together. And it's a place also to share your experiences as you learn, because a lot of the times we'll have experiences and we feel like we can't talk to anybody about it. Am I right? Did that really happen? And having a community of people is a really good way to do that. One of the most common things I notice is when people start connecting into their spirit guides, they get super nauseous, and you think you're doing something wrong. You're like, I have to be doing this wrong. Why do I feel so sick? It's because you're starting to align to their vibration, right? And you have to raise yours. So if you are someone who's starting out and you're starting to talk to your spirit guides and you get nauseous every time you do it, you are not doing anything wrong. You are not doing anything wrong. And these are the things that we talk about in here, because if we didn't have this conversation, I can't tell you how many people are like, I quit because I started. No, keep going. So that's the other reason we have this community too. It totally might be, Hunter. It's a process. Thanks for the crane, ABC. It's a process. It goes through layers. So you will deal with that to start to raise your vibration to accommodate theirs. Then once you get up to that point, messages will start being more clear. Images from them will start being more clear. Sometimes you'll be able to see them. Other times, I know there's a lot of people in here right now who tell me, I can see my guides, but I can't see their face. There's a reason you can't see their face. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. There is an intentional reason why sometimes you cannot see their face. it's a shadow work thing. You're not doing it wrong. That's why sometimes when you go to see your guides, they won't even talk to you. You can see them, but they won't talk to you. You're not doing anything wrong. You're making your way up the initiation ladder, honestly. All right, ABC, let's see what we got. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Don't forget, there's a free class tonight, and then there's 4 spots left for the mediumship class coming up. ABC, which one would you like, left or right? This is funny. This is 2 Pleiadian cards, ironically enough. Tonight is going to be so fun. Well, I'm not going to read you both of them, but they're both pretty much the same concept. So you have the panda and the sheep. They both have the Pleiadian blue rose on them. They look like this. The panda is stay balanced in your essence with Archangels Mary, Jophiel, and Sandalphon. The sheep is act with fortitude and cooperation with Archangels Gabriel and Hope. The class tonight is wards and sigils, so it's a lot of energy protection stuff. All right, let's see. Hold on, I forgot the alphabet. I have a bad habit of doing that. Keep your heart pure and light. When you think of a panda, the angel Mary connects you directly to the cosmic heart to receive healing and love. In addition, when you offer to be a bridge between the cosmic heart and the center of earth, Archangel Sandalphon will link in to enable you to bring a vast download of love through you. This is a special service and raises your frequency considerably. The Panda card asks you to stay in balance and notice how you are tested to develop your masculine and feminine energies. Then apply yourself to the lessons. This will enable you to heal yourself and others. When you attune to this card, a beautiful Pleiadian healing rose is placed in your energy fields. And then if we look at the sheep, your guidance is to cooperate with others. Realize that together you can accomplish great things if you work alone. Your aspirations can more easily be fulfilled if you act from the heart and the right brain. So open your heart today and listen to your inner wisdom. Visualize your goal being achieved with love, happiness, and joy. Whether it is acting in harmony with your family or friends or working as a team with your colleagues, the outcome will satisfy you for all. So be kind, calm, and centered. That's super cool, ABC. I love that. Thanks for letting me pull those for you. So the free class tonight is about wards and sigils. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like. Ready? Here we go. This is a ward. Oh God, I can't do this mirror thing. It's this thing, this one. This is a ward, okay? So you can make this however you want. You can use paper, a pencil. You can use paint. You can use bones. You can use a crystal grid, whatever you would like to. That is also one, right? So what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about the basics of what is, oh goodness, what is a sigil? What are wards? I'm also going to teach you guys how to ward your name. I didn't finish both of my eyeballs. I'm just going to tell you right now. So I only have one eyeball to work with tonight, but I am going to ward these. So this is what I'm going to use as an example for tonight. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to ward this, what I'm going to set the intention of it with. So what I'm going to tell you is this. I will have sigils. I will have sigils for you guys to use tonight. I'll have runes available for people. If you want to make your own, Jen Marie already made her own. So go Jen Marie. Hi Helen. Hi Chasm. So feel free. If you want to just show up with a pen and a pencil, have at it. You want to paint something. You want to do like a folded piece of paper. Have at it. It can be something as simple as this is a sigil I use on a regular basis, and I just hold it like, keep it like this, and I just have it right next to me. So we're going to talk about a lot of ways to do it. One of the other things that people ask me pretty frequently is, how do you ward your name? And so I'm going to teach you how to ward your name tonight. So what I mean by that is if you have someone who talks crap about you, someone who wants to lie about you, they physically won't be able to use your name. They won't. I've watched it happen. I have watched people go to talk about me and they go to say my name and and then it's she, because they physically cannot say my name. The other part to warding too is if someone's trying to speak ill on your name, whatever, you can turn it into money. So every time someone talks shit about you, you can turn it into money. So we are going to learn how to ward our names tonight too. I'm not going to get into plant wards and stuff tonight, but we're going to do like a basic sigil and wards class. So that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight in the Discord. The Discord's free. We have 100 people in there who are learning and growing together if you want to be a part of it. So please feel free, come hang out. I'm going to do an energy basics class for super fans on Thursday, right here on TikTok. And then the mediumship development class is on May 24th, and there's 4 spots left if you are someone who would like to sign up. It's 33 doll hairs a spot. And then the next class that's going to come after that, we're going to circle back to the spirit guide class. Helen, do you want your card for the day? Thanks for being patient with me. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Don't forget, if you're someone who wants to start being a part of this, but you're a little introverted, no big deal. You want to start learning, being a part of the guided meditation daily collectives, check out the Patreon. The Patreon A is on a 7-day free trial. There's also a bunch of stuff available for the free members too, so you don't have to be a paid member. But Ember is only $20 a month. That gets you the guided meditations, the Energy 101 class, the daily collectives, the shadow work journal, and more. So feel free to come hang out with us over there too. All right, Country Belle, I'll get you. All right, let's see, Helen, what do we... Hello. Helen, this is the turtle. Be joyful and trusting with Archangel Jules. All right, let's see. Choosing this card suggests you may sometimes put your shell around you to protect your sensitive feelings. This also prevents the good from coming in. Your guidance is to let this wall down and place light around yourself instead. Through the turtles, tune into Junbei and focus on abundance consciousness. You can call in love, prosperity, happiness, joy, and all manners of good things, but be sure to visualize others and the whole planet receiving this stream of bounty with you. Trust that the universe loves you and that everything will work out for the highest good. The rich and generous universe is ready to bring you plenty, so value who you truly are, and if you wish to sacrifice yourself for the majority, do so consciously. Helen, that was fab. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. So I do have reading spots today. If you're someone who wants to do energy readings, you want to do a past life reading, you want to see what your spirit guides have to say, I'm here for it. They're $22 hairs a spot. You can also check out the private booking link. I do private teaching on there as well. And then don't forget, if you're someone who joins Soul Sanctuary in the Patreon, not only do you get access to every class, every meditation, soul sessions, and more, but I also do your soul design within the first week of you joining, which is your human design, why you are the way you are, how you're built, and then I do a 5-page report on what your soul contracts are, and it'll show you how to work with those with the way your body is built. You can also get them on the private booking link too if that is something you're interested in. There's a couple people, well, more than a couple people in here who have gotten them, so if you have questions about it, feel free to ask them. And also, I have an entire past life. I do have one. It's just too loud. There's an entire tab in the Discord for past readings if you want to go and see what people have to say about their past readings. And I also post all of our reading live streams on YouTube, so you can go back and watch them, especially if you're someone who got the reading and you want to go back and watch it or show it to somebody. It is on YouTube. YouTube and Patreon also have a bunch of free meditations as well. There's even a free meditation to meet your spirit guides if you want to check it out. Is there any super fan who's been waiting for an oracle card who hasn't had one yet? Or is there anyone who sent a crane that I missed? And I would like to remind you that if you want to do the mediumship class, the spots are going pretty quickly. So make sure you get your spot in. There are 4 spots left to that mediumship class. Hi, Allison, how are you? Jen Marie, Jen Marie, you didn't have to send me that. On the super fan train. All right, Jen Marie, let's see what we got. Good, I'm glad. It's good to see you. All right, let's see. Jen, I appreciate you. Youthebomb.com. All right, let's see. I am beautiful. Thank you for asking. This is a theme today. Jen, this is the guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe with Archangel Mary. All right, let's see. This is the card of love. Just reading it starts to connect you energetically to the guinea pigs and through them to the cosmic heart. Be open to receiving a download of agape, and remember that when love flows from your heart, it ignites the hearts of all around you. Then, for a brief and glorious moment, you activate and light up stellar links throughout creation with bright pink love. In this way, you do your part to illuminate the universe. In response, the cosmos floods you with love and all manners of abundance. Just relax and trust and know that love is coming to you. Jen Marie, that was beautiful. I also am going to do a video this week. I'm going to put it for free on YouTube and Patreon. And it's going to be all about receiving wounds, because a lot of people don't realize that if you have receiving wounds, you will struggle to receive spiritual information. You will, because you don't feel that you're worthy of it. So we're going to talk all about receiving wounds and then some daily practices you can do to work on them. So that video will be out this week. You're so welcome, Jen Marie. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. So that's what's up for the week. So tonight is a free class in Discord for the people who want to do sigils and wards. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you really need is a pen and a paper if you want to start learning. Then what else we got? Oh, I'm doing a class for super fans on Thursday. It's an energy basics class in TikTok if you want to come hang out. And then the mediumship class is on the 24th of May. It is $33 a spot, and there's 4 spots left if you are someone who would like to sign up for it. The next live class after the mediumship class is going to be the spirit guide class. That was like a big hit when we did it the first time, and people asked for it to come around again because it filled up. And there weren't enough spots for everybody. So I am going to do that class again. It'll probably be the beginning of June. The beginning of June. Wow, I've been doing this the whole time. I don't know how I've been able to see things. No wonder I couldn't see nothing. What's everybody's plans for this Tuesday? Did anyone do anything fun and exciting? Now I have that song. I can't love you in the dark. I don't know who that is, but every time you come in here, I think it starts. Hi, Nurse Kim. Is there any superfans missing their card? I would be happy to pull it for you. And I also want to say, like, if you have questions about your guides, you have questions about mediumship, it is Adele. If you have questions about your own stuff with let me know. I would be happy to chat about it. Sorry, these 2 flies are really starting to piss me off. Shayna, thanks for the crane. All right, let's see. What you want? This fly thing getting ridiculous. All right, let's see. What do we got for Shayna today? Shayna, which one would you like, left or right? This is the hyena. Dare to be different with Archangel Jophiel. Let's see. Hyena wisdom reminds you to accept your own special qualities. We're all different and are all called on to rejoice in your uniqueness. Be ready to bring about change in the dynamics of your family or community or in a work situation. Decide what is for your highest good, knowing that when something is right for you, the universe ensures it is in everyone else's best interest too. Keep yourself in equilibrium and balance any resilience with a tendency to be forthright. Then listen to your inner guidance and act on it. Remember that self-discipline is the basis for ascension and mastery. Be yourself at all times, and when you dare to be all you truly can be, people will admire you and respect you. That was fabulous. Shayna, thanks for letting me pull it for you, my friend. So don't forget, free class tonight. And then Thursday, we're going to do a super fans class. You're so welcome. I appreciate you too. And then don't forget, if you want to sign up for the mediumship class, I know that this class is going to fill up to capacity. I know it will. And I don't want people to wait and be like, oh, I missed it, because it probably won't be around for another couple months. So if you are someone who is really like on the fence of, am I going to do the mediumship or not? I would sit with it, see how it feels for you. And I would sign up sooner than later so you could assure that you grab a spot for it. JJ, long time no see. How are you? No, if you want to do a past life country bell, I'm down for it. I'm down. We do have 3 reading spots, so I'm more than happy to do a past life reading if you would like one. It is hot in here. I want to open the window, but I got a fly problem going on. I am beautiful. Thank you for asking. JJ, all I want to tell you is keep going. I feel really compelled to tell you that. So I hope that resonates in whatever way that means. I'm going to start singing Adele in a minute. I don't know where that's coming from. It's somebody. That song's been around for a while. It reminds me of like Hot Stuff. I don't know if everybody remembers when Hot Stuff was a common one. That was bebopping around. Bum, bum. I'm sending you all the love, JJ. All the love. Sometimes people suck. Allison, thanks for the heart, me man. YouTheBomb.com. I appreciate you. Oh. It's supposed to rain too, I think, the next couple days, so it was good to be out in the sun this morning. Diabetes. What's up, Beatus? Yes, ma'am. 22. Bree, thanks for the heart, me. That's fine, Beatus. At least you're showing up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to show up and do the best that you can. Sometimes you got to show up and do the best you can. You know? That's all we can do. I think I'm missing a needle. I don't really know where it went. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Yikes. I have object permanence so bad. So bad. I'm the person who looks for my glasses when they're on my face. I'm good like that. Yep. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. Hunter, welcome back. I did really work more on my eyeball a little bit. Well, the second eyeball. Is it done? No. But I definitely worked more on it than I thought. I was really trying to get the eyes to line up. I still got some work to do on that. Jen, are you cutting anything out of your Cricut? That's what I was going to ask. Are you doing any Cricut stuff for the sigils today? Hi, Flamingo. How are you? Thanks for the heart, me. So don't forget, Mondays are usually movie night. Superfans vote on movie night. Last night was Astral City. Every other Tuesday we do a craft night. So tonight we're doing crafts in class. It's about wards and sigils. Thursday, I'm going to do a live stream on here for super fans. Okay, Beatus, I'll keep an eyeball out for it. So I'm going to do a super fan class on Thursday here on TikTok. And then Sunday is our next guided meditation and Patreon. And then our next live class, we're going to be doing the mediumship class that has 4 spots left. So if you are someone who wants to be a part of that mediumship development class, it's $33 a person. Feel free to sign up whenever you would like. The spots are going pretty quick, and it won't be offered probably for another couple months. The next class coming after that is the Spirit Guide class. Tennessee's not far, Beat. It's probably be here tomorrow or something. I have not. I'll have to look it up. That's how Astral City was suggested to me too. So that's how, I think that's sometimes how we find some of the best ones. Thanks for the Go Popular. Okay, sounds good, Beatus. Yep, so that would be a prominent messages from your spirit guides. Yep, so those are the 3 types of reading I usually do on TikTok. So it's energy stuff, prominent messages from your spirit guide, or a past life reading. Those are the 3 types of readings I usually offer every day. That's how I found the Otter movie, actually. That is 100% how I found the Otter movie, was from TikTok clips. Because I was like, what movie is this? Oh, I got him. Ha! You're dead. See ya. It was suggested to me, but it's on Gaia on YouTube. And Gaia has a free trial right now. So you can just sign up for the free trial. No worries, Country Belt. I got you, Ayana. All right, let's see. All right. Ayana, have you ever sat in or ever seen me do a reading before? Okay, perfect. All right, do I have permission to come on over and visit? Okay. Ayana, do you deal with anxiety belly? Do you know what I mean by that? Sorry, that's like right in my face. I also kind of get the impression your left leg's a little longer than your right leg. I have another question. Are you dealing with the loss of someone who's still living? So what I mean by that is like, is there someone in your life you've either like recently like separated from or had to start setting boundaries around? Okay. I get the impression that was something that was really hard for you to do, but I hear it was a long time coming. Does that make sense? Also, would you understand a fear of the future of something, like something coming? There's a little uncertainty or like a fear of how it might go. Okay, so actually, it's funny you said that because this is where I'm about to go. Do you struggle with self-love and self-worth stuff quite a bit? And I was going to say, is that a result of some not so great relationships? Because, okay, I'm just going to start rapid firing, telling you some of the things that your guides are saying. Because if I keep stopping, I'm gonna forget. My brain is not very holding of information today. So, couple things. They're talking to me extensively about self-love, they give me the impression that you do everything for a lot of people and that you go out of your way for them, but that's not something that you do for yourself. They also kind of give me the impression that you may have been told that it's selfish to do things for you, and that has kind of stopped you from doing some of those things. The other thing too is they give me the impression that there's like some hobbies or things that you used to like to do that you have stopped doing. Does that make sense? It's like gives me the impression that life became too busy, being in service to other people was too busy, and you kind of forgot those things you like to do along the way. There's also something about you taking on a lot of responsibility for other people and also overextending yourself. So what it means by that is, are you a chronic like yes person? Because they give me the impression that you'll say yes to help somebody because you don't want them to ever like feel the way that you have at times, but you do it to your own detriment. And you can't pour from an empty cup. Does that make sense? I also have to ask you another question. I'm not trying to put your business on Front Street, but do you hold a resentment against yourself for some of the things you've experienced, even though you know it's not your fault? They give me the impression you feel like shoulda, woulda, you get the shoulda, woulda, coulda, like if I could have been this, if I could have been that, if I could have done more, for it looks like a couple things, and you like hold this resentment. I honestly wouldn't be super surprised if you deal with like a pain in the center of your shoulder blades every now and then. Do you deal with nausea? Like random nausea? Okay, I'm going to tell you a couple things. One, I get the impression you like to be outside. They keep showing me like you spending time in nature. It looks like, I don't know if you have like a backyard, a back porch, but I keep seeing like it's a painted brown. It's like I don't want to call it poop brown, but it's like painted brown. And it looks like there's like birds, bird feeders, like woods. Like it looks like there's somewhere that you like to be present outside in nature. Couple other things. I think that you are more spiritually inclined than you give yourself credit for. Can you understand that? Okay, you just know things, huh? Like, you don't know how you know it, but there are days where you just know things. And I also think that you've started to be tight-lipped about it. Because I don't think the times that you did try to share it was well received. Yeah. I have another question. Do you deal with feeling unloved? Okay, because they keep bringing that up to me. Like have you been asking lately, like, am I ever going to like feel loved? Am I ever going to meet someone who loves me for me? They keep giving me the impression that that's been a very common thing lately. Is that true? Okay, couple things. This is never something people like to hear, but I'm going to tell you anyway. That feeling, that void of the love you're missing is the connection with yourself. And I'm going to also say that they tell me that you have, do you have a pattern where you attract like emotionally avoidant people? Okay, they want me to share with you that it's not you. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. It feels like that there has been a lack of self-love for such a long time that you have lost that connection to yourself. And what I will say is they keep giving me the impression of once you learn to love yourself, you will naturally attract someone else who also holds that love for themselves, and they will have the space to hold love for you. I say this all the time, that if you don't love yourself, you do not have the capacity to love other people. You just emulate what love is supposed to look like by, you know, people in our lives. So that's something they keep bringing up to me. So I just want to say that for you, like, there is love down the timeline, but it will come after a time of you being able to fall in love with yourself. And they kind of give me the impression that you really haven't ever had time to do that. And so it looks like you're kind of at a crossroads right now where, like, you are starting to make some decisions for yourself, but you also are still starting to feel like you're dealing with that guilt of doing that. And so you're at the place of, you're either going to start living for you, or you are going to fall back into that cycle of where you're living for everybody else. And that's going to build more resentment, because your shoulders already feel really heavy. And that to me is going with that, you taking on stuff for other people. Let me see if there's anything else that, because that felt like the big question that they kept bringing me back to. So one second. What kind of bird is that? Hold on, one second. Ayana, have you been asking your guides for signs that they're with you? Like even your lost loved ones, have you been asking them lately for signs that they're with you? Okay, so I'm going to tell you a couple things. They show me a black and yellow bird. Pay attention to that. I had to do a Google. There looks like there's a couple of them. The American goldfinch seems to be the most common one. So I don't know if you've been seeing them. You might start to see them, but I think that's going to be one of their big confirmations for you. They also give me the impression that, do you get random chills, especially on like your left shoulder? Okay, you have a guide who, they come in by wrapping their arm around you from your left side. So the next time that they click into you, you feel that, instead of trying to brush it off, that like you're just kind of, because I think you deal with temperature fluctuations normally, and so this you might be able to just write off as that, but it isn't. So next time you feel that, ask them if they can, if there's any messages for you. You can even just say hello, and you'll be able to start building that connection. The other thing I'm going to say to you too is, as soon as you start to believe that you do deserve that connection, they'll start to come through more. Ayana, thanks for letting me come visit. I'm going to pull you a talisman. Bree, I saw you too. All right, let's see. What do I got for Ayana today? Hello. This is the passion card. Thanks for the donut. Let's see. Allow your passion to rise up. Sometimes we try to suppress our desires to fit the social expectations and norms, but we can use this powerful force to thrive in a personal or professional matter. Our passion for life is immense because it comes from a place of love. This feeling is the ultimate and most powerful energy that we can emit. Be passionate about what you do and believe. Do not carry out decisions based on fear, worry, guilt, or shame. That state of mind can only bring the same type of negative feelings back to you. Choose the best version of yourself and project that passion out into the universe. Ayana, thanks for letting me come visit. And truthfully, I hope you can find time to start doing things for you. whether you like to just go sit out in nature, whether you want to start doing some kind of craft, whether you want to start reading more, whatever it may be, I hope you start to find time where you can start making time for you versus giving your time to everybody else. Thanks for letting me come visit, my friend. It's always an honor and a privilege, truthfully. Hi, Jackson, how are you? You're so welcome. Thank you for letting me come visit. All right, Bree, I saw you. What kind of reading are we doing, my friend? Past lives, spirit guides, or energy stuff? What sounds good? I really need to grab some chapstick. However, Hunter, what I'm going to tell you is I bet that if someone you loved called you when you were super tired, you would push past the tiredness to make time for them. I do recall you helping someone this weekend, I think. Yes, we can. So what you're saying is you don't love you? Is that what you're saying to me? You're saying that you don't love you? Monica, I appreciate you, girlfriend. Okay, Bree. Yes, Bree, have you ever seen me do a past life reading? Because if not, I would like to explain it. Okay, so let me explain to you how I do my past life readings. So what we do is I connect into my past life guide. My past life guide will help me. Someone has to block Alex because he's a liabetes person. You got the beatus. So what I do is I connect into my past life guide. He shows me one of your more prominent lifetimes. With that being said, I get to go and kind of look around, see what you're doing, see what you're up to. Thank you, you guys were on that. I get to see what you're up to. And then I get to look at some soul cycles. And what I mean by that is I get to see some of the repeating patterns that you're living in that lifetime and how they may affect this lifetime. So if that sounds good to you, can I come over and visit? Okay. Bree, do you find a lot of the time that you bite your tongue, like about your emotions, sometimes about your opinions? Like, do you find that you keep your mouth closed a lot? Okay. I also, before I go into the next layer, there's grief hanging here. I don't know if it feels like grief current, like a present person. And that can be like a breakup. It could be separation, could be just having to set boundaries with someone. But it feels like that is an emotion that is looking to be expressed and it's looking to be taught about. And it keeps like collecting up here. So I actually wouldn't be super surprised if sometimes you get these like random stabbing pains in your chest. It's that energy trying to move. All right, next layer. 1 second. It smells like low tide and bad decisions. 1 second. So when I first step out here, the very first thing was salt, like salt air, the beach, low tide. The next thing was seagulls. So as I'm looking around, you're definitely a man in this lifetime. The other thing that's super interesting is you have like this, it's not like super long, but it's like this very thick, like black hair that like, it's like the way it like, it's like maybe to here is the best way I can say it. There's something to the boat. I see you, it's like a canoe, maybe. This feels like an indigenous lifetime, the more I look at it. So there's, you are standing, there's this cove, right? So, I'm watching you at this cove, and it's like the ocean, it's like this rock, and then it's like you have on, these really baggy pants. They're almost like, balloon pants, but they're not. I don't know what else to describe those as. They're some kind of linen, and you have this very intricate, like handmade looking canoe. And if I look closer, there are some things carved into the side of this canoe, like right along the top where this part of the boat would sit above the water. There's a couple things. As I start to follow down this lifetime, you're a part of a community. It looks like an indigenous community that lives on the water. And so you are someone who helps contribute to this community, it looks like, in a multitude of ways. Not only do you go and like fish and collect food, but you also are someone who is very good with your hands. I honestly, Brie, wouldn't be super surprised if in this lifetime you find that you have a natural talent to being good with your hands. Like if something's broken, you don't know how, but you can find a way to put it together and fix it. I wouldn't be super shocked if that's something you experience. When I look closer at this lifetime, there is a soul cycle that I can already see, and it's a soul cycle of hermit mode. So what this looks like in this lifetime is you are someone who, you are there for everybody. You try to help everybody, but you don't let people in. You spend a lot of time to yourself, and you really have a very different internal world than the external world that other people get to see. So if that is still happening in this lifetime, this will continue to resurface until you start to work through how to authentically show up as yourself without trying to hide any part of yourself or make yourself smaller. What else is really interesting is there's like, this community has like these huts that I've never seen before. They're like thatched, but not thatched, and they use like sticks. I don't know how else to describe it. They're very interesting to look at. The other thing too is, so your mom is a very prominent figure in this timeline for you. There's a very deep connection. Your mom is someone who like gives me the impression that they're an elder within this community, because every time I see her, she has on this very certain headdress, and it has 3 feathers in the back. One is really tall, the other ones are shorter next to the tall one. And there's another soul cycle here. So with this, your mom in this lifetime has a ton of what looks like capabilities of being, she's like the shaman / elder of this community is the best way I can describe this. You have these same abilities as her, but you are uncomfortable with them. You don't like the intangibility of it, and you also don't like the attention they bring you. So you spend a lot of time in this lifetime trying to shut them out and not take ownership of them. And it will continue to resurface until you're ready to utilize the knowledge for your good versus rejecting it. So if you are someone who receives messages, okay, make sure that you start to see either why you don't want to receive them or what may be blocking you from receiving them. Because if I go further down this timeline, you are someone who has especially with clear sight, you are someone who has access to these abilities, but it gets lost in translation from the self-worth pipeline and the making yourself small. I also, Brie, what I'm going to say too is I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who likes to be barefoot, because every single time I see you in this lifetime, you have nothing on your feet at all. And I also wouldn't be super shocked if the water is something that has always felt grounding to you, especially like the shoreline, because in this timeline you spent a ton of time out like in the water by yourself, sitting on the beach by yourself, going out into the woods and going, you know, doing things for yourself. You spent a lot of time alone. Like, you were there and you were helping people, but then you kind of like became a recluse and like went and did your own thing. The other thing that I find really interesting is when I ask if there's like a relationship in this timeline, I get the impression that there was someone who you were interested in, but that shyness and that hermit mode made it so that never went forward. And it seems like that was something that was a big regret, and so it was never tried again, and it just kind of made you shrink in on your feelings. If you still struggle with expressing your feelings, make sure you're finding a safe way to express them, whether it's writing it down in a journal, whether it's sharing it with someone, whether it's speaking it out loud to yourself. Find a way to start to verbalize and understand the emotions that live in here versus trying to suppress them or not confront them. I also, so weird, I wouldn't be surprised if you like driftwood. It was definitely something you crafted with in this lifetime too. All right, let me see if there's anything else he wants me to. The last thing, as I am pulling out of here, that really came through is you have a very bright light to shine with people, Brie. So make sure that you are finding a way to illuminate that light for yourself and then finding a way to let it shine bright for other people. Because I get the impression that you try to dim it a lot, because it feels like you don't like attention too. Does that make sense? See, I love that. I love that. I think past lives are really, I'm sorry, this fly is really starting to tick me off. I feel like past lives are a really good way for us to kind of start to see and understand ourselves in a lot of ways. And it kind of takes away the shame of, why am I the way that I am? Well, you're just learning, and you're learning through these phases, you know? Yeah, I think I have to tell you, Brie, it's that light part of you, because you have this light, right? You also have these gifts that are online, and you will naturally attract people to you through the polarity that's within you. That is something that you will do. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me ask you a question. Do you have random strangers come up to you all the time and just tell you like their deepest, darkest secrets unprovoked, and then they'll look at you and go, I don't know why I just told you that? Get used to it, because it ain't ever gonna stop. It happens to me all the time. Even in the worst situations, I will have people who will just share their deepest, darkest secret, and then they look at me and go, I don't know where that came from. I don't know why I did that. That is naturally that light in your body, allowing them a place to be themselves and to share their truth. So, Brie, the biggest thing I can tell you if I can make any suggestion to you, start finding a way to connect in to your feelings, because I think overstimulated is the word I'm going to use. And the more you learn to work with those emotions and that energy, the more you'll be able to harness it and control it versus allowing it to make you feel out of control. Does that make sense? Girl, get it. So get it. I used to be medicated. I got late diagnosed and then I was medicated. And then once I really started my healing journey, I didn't have to anymore. And that I was so grateful for that. Don't worry, I'm definitely still a squirrel, but not an emotional squirrel. Does that make sense? Bree, can I pull you a talisman? All right, let's see what we got. This is the mindfulness talisman. There is a lot of beauty in the stillness of the mind. Allowing ourselves to be present in the moment and not worry about how things could have been or what we could have done better can open our minds to the treasures of what we have to be thankful for. With great patience and perseverance, we can accomplish anything. It's best not to rush into action or judgment too quickly. Often, patience is not about how long we can wait, but what we can do with our time while waiting. We learn to be grateful for every moment of our day, even when we feel stuck and things don't go our way. Like the praying mantis, staying mindful will make all of your endeavors more fruitful and meaningful. I am still is the affirmation for this card. Free, their spirit's pretty good at that, I must say. They're like, here, mic drop. Always. Thank you for letting me come visit. It's always an honor and a privilege when you guys allow me into your space, truthfully. So, Bree, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Don't forget, there's a free class tonight in the Discord. If you are someone who wants to come learn about wards and sigils, you're so welcome, Bree. Feel free to come hang out with us. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to do a Superfans class on TikTok on Thursday. So if you are someone who's a superfan and you want to come hang out for the class, please feel free. And then what else? Oh, we have a mediumship class coming up on the 24th. There's 4 spots left. They are filling up really quick. So if you are someone who would like to grab a spot, there's 4 spots left and it's 33 doll hairs a spot. I think I just got the last frickin' fly. No, I didn't. Ugh. Ew, I crushed that with my hand. Oh, hold on. There's one more. I'm never opening these windows ever again. I made the worst life decision in doing that. I will never, ever, 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 ever do it again. Lesson learned. Hi, Chasm. How are you? What's up? Happy Tuesday, everybody. I do have one reading spot left if you're someone who would like a spot. It's either spirit guide messages, energy work, or a past life reading, and they're 22 doll hairs a spot. And then don't forget the private booking link is up and available. So if you want to do a private reading, and also don't forget, not all of our readings have to be, you don't have to talk to me for all of them. I have reports for the introverts in our community. So if you're someone who just wants me to do the reading and then send you all the information, that's available. Feel free to check out the past life snapshot and the spirit guide snapshot. If that's something that you're interested in, feel free. Sure. So hold on. I'll read it to you, Flamingo. I have a whole, introduction to it. So it's a teaching focused session for anyone who wants to learn, understand, and actively develop their mediumship / animal communication in a grounded and supportive environment. In the class, we're going to learn how mediumship actually works, how it speaks through you, strengthening your connection to spirit in a clear, structured way that works for you, practical exercises to develop your ability step by step with confirmations. That's something I promise for every class, is that you'll get confirmations, learning how to begin recognizing, interpreting, and trusting what you receive. I'm going to teach everybody their own invocation and protection that they can do, and then foundational techniques that you can practice and build off of your own foundation. So it's going to be about an hour and a half, 2-hour class. I do a bunch of teaching, then we do We do like exercises, we do different sessions within that class to really kind of get the whole gist of it. It's $33 a spot, and there are 4 spots left for that class. Jen Marie, thank you for the donuts. Would any of those help with knowing how to face blockages and move forward? Energy stuff probably would, Chasm. That's like the best thing I can think of for that. We just did the past life class on Sunday. So if you were someone who took the past life class, you got to connect into your past life guide, and you got to either go to the Akashic record with your guide, or you were able to see one of your past lifetimes. So everybody was able to connect with their guide. Everybody was able to get their confirmations. It was such a cool thing to see. So fun. And then the next class that's going to be coming after the mediumship class is going to be the spirit guide class. That will be the next class that I offer. Good God. I'm never opening window again. It was a super fun class. I had so much fun. Feel free, Chasm. There's 4 spots left. The spots are going pretty quickly. So there's 4 spots left for it. And this class won't come around for another couple months. It's May 24th. It's a Sunday, and it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then if you're someone who wants to have a basic start, if you're someone who's a member of Ember over on the Patreon, you get access to Ether 101, which is the energy basics class. You get access to Mediumship 101. There's a ton of stuff for people who hang out in Ember, and Ember's $20 a month. So if that's somewhere you want to start, feel free. And Ember's also on a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out without any commitment too. Do I have any super fans who didn't get their Oracle card, or anybody who sent a crane that I didn't get? I'm on the fly hunt. Yeah, just make sure if you send the payment for the class, you just put that it's for the mediumship class, just so I can document it properly. And then I am doing a class for super fans on Thursday here on TikTok. It's all about energy basics, if you're someone who would like to hang out for it. I also have a free guided meditation to meet your spirit guides, if that is something that you're interested in. That spirit guide meditation is on Patreon, and it's also available on YouTube as well for free. Yes, Country Belle, let's see. Country Belle, which one would you like, left or right? This is the dove. Spread messages of peace and harmony with Archangel Bakepi. Let's see. Your guidance is to take deep breaths and center yourself on the out-breath until you feel calm and tranquil. Fill the cells of your body with pure peace and hold out your hand and imagine a gentle white dove landing on it. Listen to its soft coo and allow it to open up to a serene and loving way of being. Let your energy fields glow with peace and harmony. Think of people and situations in your life that would benefit from your light and visualize them being bathed in it. Plant new seeds of kindness, love, cooperation, or whatever is most needed for the highest good. Notice that when changes occur in your energy field, it will contain the keys and codes of peace and harmony, and you become a catalyst for transformation wherever you go. Country Belle, that was fab. Thanks for letting me pull it for you, my friend. do. So don't forget, there's a there's a free class tonight in the Discord. It's all about wards and sigils. If you are someone who would like to come hang out for that, it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are 4 spots left for the mediumship class. So if you are someone who would like to sign up for that, please feel free, because the spots are going pretty quickly. And then I will be doing an energy basics class here on TikTok Thursday night for people who are super fans. And then we are doing a guided meditation in the Patreon on Sunday. And over the next couple days, I'm going to release a video on YouTube and Patreon all about receiving wounds, receiving blocks, and how to start working through those. So lots of fun stuff coming up for the week. I know, Jack, I see you. All right, so Jack is giving me my notification that it is time for me to leave. So is there anybody who was dying to get that one reading spot left? Because if not, I'm probably going to run away, and I will see some of you for 7 o'clock tonight in the Discord. And also, if you guys have questions, feel free. Come join the Discord. It's free. There's a free section of the Patreon. No, because we live on the ish, or ishin. I think the class will be Thursday night. So 6 p.m., could be 7, probably between 6 and 7 is my assumption. So thank you for that. But you know me, I live on the ish. I feel like any occultist lives on the ish. Time is just a construct. All right, my friends. I will see some of you later on. If you guys have questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. Please don't be offended if you message me on TikTok and I don't reply to you. I don't reply to anybody because there have been fake Molly accounts before and people have been bamboozled by them. So the only place I will reply to you is Patreon or the Discord. So if you have questions, feel free to message me there. And don't forget,